Hello, in this video we will be walking through the tool and all its major components to get a basic example working and seeing how that affects the maps that we are generating. So first off, the tool can be found under Tools, and then I personally like to have the tool on one side of the screen and then having the scene on the other side. This helps me iterate quickly between the changes I make within the tree and then seeing how it reflects it within the scenes. So first off, on the left side of the editor, you will see a bunch of settings that you can customize depending on your needs. Constraints is related to the width and height of your tile map. For this example, we'll be doing a 100 by 100 tile map. Tile map here relates to any customization within your grid, mainly just naming. So you can change your grid name and then your tile maps as you add more layers in your tree, and then you are able to enable or disable whether you want your grid to be isometric or not based on what tiles you are using. The noise map tab here will allow you to see your noise previews based on what node you have selected. The generate button will generate your map based on your tree, and then the export button will save whatever tree you have currently in the editor under a JSON file. On the right side here is where all the nodes will be visible. So here we can create our nodes, create root nodes, and then import a predefined tree from a JSON file if we have one. For this example, we will just be using 2 nodes just to create a little bit of variability. We'll start off with just the basic default noises here. And then we're going to use some already defined biomes just to speed things up. So we're going to do water biome and then a grass biome. So as you can see, now we have one layer within our tree. Our new tile map is going to show up here. We can name it whatever we want. So base, and then don't forget whether to enable or disable the isometric based on your tiles. Here we're not doing isometric, so this is fine for now. So if we generate now, we see our new tile map here, and then we could quickly iterate through different variations here. And then just to show how the noise previews work, so this root node here, if we click our temperature noises here or any of these noise, we can see all the previews. Whenever we generate a map in the console, let me clear this. In the console, you're able to see what noise was used to generate that map. Right now, it's saying all default noise, so in this case, it would have been better to name all of these so we know what seed maps to what noise. Now, if we're satisfied with our tree here, we can always export it out and save these configurations. So that's what I will do. This has now been saved under this path. And then if we delete our tree and then import a tree back, we should be able to find it under our exports, tree, new tree, and then here it is back again. Similarly, the biomes and noises can be saved if you particularly like the specific configuration for one of your biomes or one of your noises. So for your noise here, we can export the noise. So now if we go to that path, export noises, now we have our default noise here. And then we can do the same thing for our biomes. So we can save those, and now if we go to biomes, we've now saved our water biome. This was a basic walkthrough of the main components of the tools just to get familiar with it and get a very simple example working, but there will be other videos that show a little bit more advanced tips and more complex trees that will be more realistic to what maps we are trying to build.